Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. Today, I am going to have something that I hadn't expected because I thought I'd be talking about sacred geometry, but that's not what happened. So, today, what we are going to be covering is your soul contract. And the beauty is that every single one of us who incarnates on planet Earth has a soul contract. I'll talk about the possibilities with you, and I will give you not an overview of what to expect, but just a brief rundown of my understanding for what's involved and how your soul contract comes to be. As you can see, I'm on my porch every single Friday when I had something happened. I think I was only outside in Nashville. Otherwise, I had to be inside. It was stormy, it was rainy, it was so hot that it was impossible to be out here. But today it's absolutely lovely, at least in my lexicon. It's probably 93 and humid, but I love it. So, very, very pleased to be able to share the great outdoors with you. First of all, you meet with your karmic board. Again, according to what I understand about what happens at the time of your transition. When you transition to the other side, you do a life review with your karmic board. And this is a group of 3 beings that follow you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And they review with you every single thing, every occurrence that you had. Your movie screen of your life opens up, but there is a difference in it. Instead of you feeling it from your point of view, you get to feel what the other person felt, the other people in your life, exactly what they felt when you did, said, acted, reacted, whatever it was that brought you to a place of of uh, communication with them. And so you get to feel their emotions. You get to feel how they felt by what it is that you said. And then you examine your life for possible uh, directional changes that you could have made. And these changes are based on what you thought about every single minute of your life. Because every single minute we have hundreds of thoughts going through our head, and we are able to discern and determine the direction of our life that is different, that changes moment by moment. It's like this giant computer in the sky that just recalculates what our possibilities are, because our possibilities are limitless. And so, minute by minute, as we think, we create. The 2 best books that I have found out there is by Michael Newton, Journey of the Soul, Journey of Souls, and Destiny of Souls. Michael Newton, PhD. They just fantastic books. So effectively, your karmic board and you then look at choices that you made and decide, could you have made better choices? Were there times that you could have absolutely done better than what you were experiencing? What Based on the choices that you did make. When it's time for you to consider coming back, then you meet with what is called a Council of 12. Now, this is just a quick overview, so I'm not going to go into depth in anything, but you do have these lovely books to turn to when you want to get more information. Now, the Council of 12 and is made up of, first and foremost, your higher self. And my understanding is every single being that sits on the Council of 12 is a being that, again, follows you throughout your lifetimes and gives you advice, gives you direction, gives you their best counsel for what it is that you've selected for yourself. And it sets out the details of your new life, the life that you're going to experience after you agree to be born into a specific set of parents that you chose and a specific set of circumstances that you chose. So again, there is an element of choice in every single thing that happens to you. Nothing and by chance, and nothing is by guess and by golly. And when I say choice, I'm talking about the major events in your life, because the major events are the ones that determined who you're going to marry, which parents you're going to choose to be born into, which type of parental unit are you going to be born into, and are you going, which country you're going to be born into, which will determine which culture. And of course, with each culture is a certain set of restrictions. So, because every culture loves to impose their cultural restrictions on your development. So, again, when you sit with your Council of 12 and you set out the details for your new life, you have to remember that you are then given a movie screen preview of what your life is going to look like. And that preview has to be agreed to by you. If you don't agree to it, the major junctions of your life, then you revise it. That's the long and short of it. So anybody who's going through this lifetime with this sense of victimhood can hopefully give that up. And because they can realize that they had a choice in this. And what I know positively is that when you agree to a major experience, any minor experiences that you have day to day living based on free will can obviously alter the direction and the consequences of your choices. So please do be aware of the fact that there's multiple ways that that your life can turn out, depending upon how you choose to think about it on a day-to-day basis. Sorry about this strap. This is live, so things like that happen. Okay, soul purpose. People will come to me and ask me, um, what is my soul purpose? And I was given basically three questions that you need to ask yourself in order to determine what your soul purpose is. First of all, what do you yearn for? What's out there that it's just like a calling to you and you don't feel fulfilled without that? I know when I was a real estate broker, there was a time when I literally thought I would live and die as a real estate broker. I never envisioned another career for myself. I was so happy as a real estate broker. I felt fulfilled. I felt satisfied. I felt that everything I wanted to achieve in my life was there because, for the most part, there was a long period of time where I worked with nothing but first time buyers. And for me, there was nothing more satisfying than getting a first time homeowner into a house. There was one time where I helped a young couple that was 18 and 19 years old. They bought a home against their parents' wishes, against their friends, all clucking their, shaking their heads, clucking their teeth, and just saying, "Oh my God, what are you doing to yourself? You're taking this kind of mortgage." And I think, if I remember correctly, that rates were 7%. This is before they started escalating. So this was many, many years ago. And now, again, the rates have been 2 and 3 and 4% for the better part of 10 years. There, as far as I'm concerned, it's a phenomenal time to buy. Well, the prices have escalated phenomenally since the time I first started in real estate, which was in the early 70s. So you're talking about 47 years worth of escalation of prices. So, could you have done better had you bought 10 years ago? Of course, you could have. But even if you had gotten a higher interest rate, you can always refinance. So, my advice to those couples starting out in purchasing: do get the best value for the dollar you can at the time you're looking. And if one area if you're priced out of that area, go into another area that hopefully that you can afford, because while their prices may escalate less, they will still continue to go up. But at like I said, at the time I became and worked in real estate, I thought I would stay in it, live and die as a real estate broker. That was not my sole contract. That was not my sole purpose. I got to a point after about 25 years of being a full time real estate broker where I got so bored with the process that I literally said to myself on the way to an appointment one evening that if I hear this particular question one more time, I think I'm just going to bloody scream. And of course, the first words out of the mouths of the client was that particular question. So I knew immediately that my days in real estate were coming to a close. I was frightened of going elsewhere, of doing something else, because real estate, literally, like I said, there was a time where I thought I would live and die as a real estate broker. And this was not to be. So, but the irony is, every single time, it didn't matter what I achieved, what accolades I got, um, I never really felt like I had accomplished what I came here to accomplish. And I knew that there was something else. And that leads me to point number two. What eludes you? What do you have sitting inside of you, in the front of your mind, in the back of your mind, that you just don't feel is there, and it's just not coming forward for you? So it's like a shadow that seems to move in and out. It's a goal that you keep revising. What eludes you? And the third thing is, what do you never get just right? What is it that you feel? In my case, I know once I hit the 80s, I started my career in the 70s. Once I hit the 80s, and I would look at the titles of books that were coming out. The only one I remember at that time was I'm Okay, You're Okay. And I would look at that book and I would just hunger for the time to read it. I didn't have any extra time. I was raising a young family. I had a, a large home to take care of. I had uh, two pets on the horizon. I had a husband that absolutely supported me in my career, but obviously needed attention too. I had a large home on an acre of land. Everything ca- called to me, everything needed my attention. Could I continue to split myself up? I had to. I did what every woman does, just pay attention to the immediate needs of the moment and then move on to the next immediate needs. I literally felt like I was putting out fires my entire real estate career. And the irony was, when I was with my children, in the background were my real estate work. When I was with my work, in the background were my children's needs. So never quite satisfied, never felt like I just got it right. And I mean, I was no different than any other woman out there. But what do you not get just right? And if you don't have a connection to your angels and to your guides, I recommend that you get one. And the best way to do that is through journaling. So just get into the habit. And I do this in the morning. I'm not good about it. I haven't done it in years. Not once I finished my book. It just seemed to me like it kind of went by the wayside. Uh, and I blogged up until 2013, and now I'm just getting back to where I feel the motivation to do it again. Haven't started yet, but it's in my to-do list. At least it's there as a line item, and I know that it's just a matter of time before I do it, because I see it every day as a line item. Now, one of the things that I am going to share with you that will be a little bit comforting, and since I'm all about upbeat, positive, owning your power, that's the title of my book, every single thing that helps you move in a direction that not only helps you, but also helps humanity. One of the things that I will share with you is, when you choose a life that contains hardship in it, that contains hard tasks in it, you receive more growth. You have much more soul evolution. Your soul grows exponentially when you are able um, to use hard tasks. There is one time where a very dear friend of mine looked at me once, maybe 10, 15 years ago, and she said to me, Alice, if I had to do what you did, I'd be dead. And so my retort to her was, if you had to do what I did, what I do, God would give you the strength to do it. Because even today, there are times where I feel I am just running like a little hamster in a cage. And I am just trying to pack in so much work in a given day. But again, God does give me the right to um, the energy, the willingness, the wherewithal to get everything done. And I do know positively that the days where I start my day with prayer, meditation, reading my 8 books, reading a portion of my 8 books, uh, obviously starting with my own, and reading selections from uh, daily meditations, or reading parts of books that feed my soul. Even if it's a page or two, it doesn't matter. Those are the days when I'm the most efficient. Always, 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 always. And I know that I've got Spirit's help. It's as simple as that. I'm just very, I don't have to nothing has to be proven to me anymore. It just happens that I can have 38 items on my to-do list. I'll get 37 of them done. Sometimes 38, but usually there's one or two that don't quite get finished that I have to carry over to the next day. But it is just incredible how, if you have hardships, hard tasks, and you ask for the help, you will get it. You absolutely will get it. And the good news that I do want to share with you, though, is for every fourth or fifth lifetime that you choose on planet Earth, you get what is called a resting life. And a resting life is just that. Nothing goes wrong. Everything works for you. You marry the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams. You have children that are talented, successful. You have enough money to do whatever you want. Your life is fabulous. So that's your choice. And that's also a reward for you for going through the tough stuff. So I absolutely do want to share with you that you have the right to choose a resting life for yourself every fourth or fifth lifetime that you come back. Um, I just want to, and I know I'm going past, I've gone past 20 minutes. I try not to. Um, but there was one time that I told one of my most fabulous neighbor's mother, and I was talking to her, and I said, "Yeah, when my life is over, I just want to die peacefully in my sleep." And she looked at me and she said, "You can't do that." And I said, "Why not?" She said, "Well, you have to die of something." And I said, "No, you don't. When I feel that my job is done on this planet, I just want to go to bed and wake up in the next dimension." And the next dimension that I have chosen for myself to continue this journey. Life is endless. You will always get a chance to do it over, to do it right. If the love of your life eluded you in this lifetime, and you felt, geez, you never really found somebody that loved you like that person did, but things just didn't work out with him. I know when I was 15, I fell in love with a young man, and he who eventually promised he would marry me when we turned 21. And when I saw him the last time, when after I had just turned 21, when he walked out the door, I knew that that was going to be the last time I'd ever see him as long as I lived. And it was. I've never seen him since. And when I asked my guides once, who was he that I fell so head over heels in love with him? And their answer was, he was the collective soul of every person that you have ever loved in these lives. So, of course, I would fall head over heels in love with him. The collective soul of every person that I loved in this lifetime. So, anyway, I thank you for watching. I bless you. And I'm not even going to try to guess what's coming next week because every time I make a guess, I'm wrong. So, I will see you next week at 1 o'clock and hopefully out here. I love this setting. I love my porch. And hopefully can share more of it with you. Thank you. Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one